It looks like Doc has went live. Oh, Dr. Disrespect, after the craziest thing that we could ever imagine we thought had happened, Doc has made a full-ass statement just now, right now. We're going to jump into it. Make sure you subscribe to my goofy-ass dying channel. Really helps your boy out.
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules.
It was like years, and Doc didn't say shit. So
lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even...
This is, he's talking about the guy that originally released the thread a few days before all the shit hit the fan. That's that guy right there.
Involved leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what? Cody, why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time?
Well, to be fair, regardless of what Doc's about to say, to be fair, people do that for clout. Regardless if there's a good or bad outcome from it. I mean, people leak giant shit about giant people for, I mean, it's to garner ass tons of clout. You know, is it deserved or not? I don't know. But I mean, that's the reason you do it. You don't do it for any other reason. You know what I'm saying?
Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages. Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement.
What he's saying right here is that he intentionally removed and added the word minor to his original statement on purpose to troll some outlets or to make it emphasized that it was actually in there. And also he's claiming the Whispers had never contained any sexting at all.
Edited, etc. Just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages?
Now he's claiming that there was never a minor involved at all. This is very interesting stuff.
You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack. These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now. Don't you think, champs? They act like they're just gossip channels now. without any real journalism and real research happening.
Now, to be fair to Doc or to anybody here, regardless of if he's telling the truth or not, that is 100% what all media and journalism has devolved into, is quite literally copy and pasting gossip about somebody else. So much so to when you pull open an article, half the time it's quite literally copy and pasted almost on every single publication. And then it has an author, and you're like, what? All you did was Control C, Control V this bitch.
They reported on all this based on leaks from 2 former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images.
Oh, damn.
Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened. I even used the word inappropriate purposely. And look at how it was defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words? And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal. You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with the Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel.
Well, to be fair, none of the partner managers actually do anything. They now look, this is completely unrelated, but you know, I can only use the example of YouTube partner managers. And YouTube partner managers basically will say, "Hey, let's have a meeting on like the phone." And you'll be like, "All right." And then they tell you what click-through rate is and like that you need good titles and thumbnails. As if you haven't already reached 100,000 subscribers and were awarded a partner manager. They tell you day 101, oh, make sure your thumbnails are good. Like, no shit. That's all they do. You have good titles and thumbnails? That's their entire existence. This is the weirdest thing in the world, but you know, that's just what they do.
For years. I'm talking no front page love. You're talking about the face of the platform, right? Literally. The face of the platform. And I know Champions Club remembers this. We got zero front page love on the website. It was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the 2-time Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. God, would you want to play in it? We got zero support from this guy. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence?
It's a lot of interesting conspiracy going on.
Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team. That would have been the end. That should have been the end.
You know, if everything he's saying is true, I mean, that's it sounds pretty minuscule. If what he's saying is true here, it's kind of bullshit. But do we know for sure?
But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two-time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, big-time arbitration, okay? And, you discover a lot of stuff. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time. The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate, even when they aren't. Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch. Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement. Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable!
This is some wild shit right here. And this is why, now look, I know it just depends on the situation, but this is why you got to come out and say stuff immediately. Because, I mean, we see it with a lot of creators, that there's allegations levied against them, and then they go into hiding for a year. Doc didn't go that long. And they come back and they're like, hey, look at all these receipts. And everybody's like, oh, why didn't you just show this to begin with? Now, granted, we don't exactly know if this is true. And he also said the age of consent in the jurisdiction where something was provided, which means the person could be 17. But if there's no inappropriate messages and it's out of context, then that's completely different. If there was no law enforcement involved, Twitch themselves deemed that there was nothing inappropriate happening. Those are very, very important things you should get out in front of immediately.
I'm not going to get into every detail regarding my legal case, but these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue. They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. So then why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from their other streamers? I mean, outside of the obvious. I mean, just take a look at me. Right? Unfiltered. The realest motherfucker in this industry. 6'8", gorgeous, athletic, successful, college degree, college athlete, bourbon business, gaming studio, beautiful family. And trust me, we've worked hard for over a decade to improve as a person, a husband and father, and to get where we're at today. I mean, I'm in such a good place today. And all these people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. Sometimes I do. But I also didn't do all the shit that they're saying I did. But then that doesn't make a story, right? They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all of this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the two-time. The reality is they wanted to cut down the doc, plain and simple. Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here.
Oh, that's probably beautiful. No, no, look. First and foremost, this is something that should have been out immediately. Which, I mean, I've said for a long time, I think he can come back from it. Now, the issue lies here. And this is kind of the same kind of thing that was involved with Chris Tyson, although it was way more extreme. But if you want to actively talk to somebody who's underage, right? I have had people, and this is the only thing I'll levy against this, because in my opinion, after going through all that, if we were to assume what he is saying is true, then yes, it looks like it was a nothing burger all along. And it was kind of like a hit job, which, I mean, if you're going to sit there and disagree that hit jobs are not real and oftenly taken out on creators, then you're insane. But it also could be the complete opposite. But what I'm saying is, if you're ever actively wanting to talk to a minor for any reason, that's really strange to me. Is it illegal? No, but it is a little strange. I've had underage people crawl in my DMs my entire career, and I usually would never respond to them. And if I did, it was because I didn't know, and I immediately would research it. Like, that's something I always do. If somebody crawls in my DMs, now granted, I don't really just talk to people like for a long period of time from a random DM, okay, unless I know them from a stream. If somebody messaged me on Instagram and I click that profile picture and that looks like a 14-year-old like kid, no, I block or restrict that shit immediately. Right? I'm just not interested in it. There's nothing good can come from it, and plus they're not interesting. Kids are stupid. Why would you want to talk to a kid, right? So that still was my original issue all along. It's like, so why are you talking to this kid in any way, shape, or form? Now, granted, if they're a creator wanting to collab and there's something there, I don't know. But I'm not in that position, you know. But from how Doc paints it, is nothing illegal happened. There was nothing inappropriate happening, and all of it was some bullshit. And then later, some Twitch employees wanted to get famous, and they did, you know, for a short period of time. And he is right about one thing: the media is black and white, and the public perception is black and white. The court of public opinion is black and white. And it's probably because biologically there's like a high percentage of people that can't actually see a nuance, which is kind of terrifying if you actually read those studies. But at any rate, what did you think? I think it was a pretty solid response. He kind of hit everything on the head. He kind of covered every piece of it. Now, do we know it's true? You know, no one has provided any evidence here or there other than just saying shit, right? But Doc did, you know, go to have some legal issues with Twitch, which he conquered a long time ago. So maybe there could be something there. What do you think?